absolutely massive milestone today. I can't believe it. I'm completely blown away. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, so we hit 1 million views. Now that is one achievement. That absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So let's see who's popped in for a chat. Frank, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. I hope you're keeping well. I'm just trying to get this on the big screen so I can see what's going on. Thanks very much, Frank. Thank you very much. Oh, we're getting people coming in now. Tony's here, Dean's here, Laura's here. How are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in, guys. I hope you're keeping well. So, yeah, we hit an absolutely huge milestone today. 1 million views. Look at that. That's not bad at all. I'm very happy with that. So who else is coming? James Borden, thank you very much for coming in. Isabel, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Let's see who we are. Jakir Bahar, assalamu alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much for coming in. So Tony's working, may have to disappear without warning. Not a problem at all, mate. Hope you're keeping safe while you're at work. Um, are you on call tonight? So Dean's not at work this week, so that's why he's in. That's good. Good to see you in, mate. Isham Waynes, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. Steve Lewis, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Angela Critters, how are you doing? Long time no see. 1 million views, absolutely, that's amazing. I can't believe it. It's absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Guys, if you haven't hit that like for me, please hit that like. We're at 27 people. That's beautiful start for today. Isabel, thank you very much. Uh, I can't believe there's people of what 1 million views. Well, that's absolutely awesome. uh, I don't do on call. I'm whole time. So I'm at the station. Tony, what I meant was, so if you got a call tonight, would you be out on in the fire engine? That's what I meant. I didn't mean like that. So you'd be out in the fire engine, going out seeing people. So I probably got the terminology wrong, but yeah. Ravia, wa alaikum assalam. Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. How is everyone doing tonight? How is everyone's week been going? Did anyone get out into the garden today? Christina, thank you very much for coming in. Just got in from work. I seem to be doing a lot of late Saturdays. Um, at least it's keeping you busy. You keep it simple, laid back. Steve, thank you very much. I'm glad you like it. I really am. Well, he isn't going to be riding behind them on a push. I'm the highest ranking you can get on the fire engine, mate. The idiot making all the decisions. Got a lot of responsibility there, man. You've got a lot of responsibility there. Sounds, yeah. That's all. But look at what you're doing. It's absolutely awesome. He's out there saving lives. I mean, not everyone can say that. There's not many people that can say that. Yeah, hats off to you. Um, Christina's keeping busy and out of trouble. um, Frank, you started back at work on Wednesday. At least it's getting you out of the house now. Or you're not happy with that? Brian, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in. How's your garden going? Went with a friend to my new land, plant flowers, herbs, made one mixed bed, and Wednesday planted trees. I'm dead. Oh, that sounds like a lot of hard work. What flowers have you planted? I've still got some. I picked up some tulips and stuff a few weeks ago, and I've still got them in the shed. They need planting out. I'm gonna put them in some pots. You go in there every single day. That's awesome. That's absolutely. it's good to get out because I'm only getting into the garden for at the weekends, so I get into and especially with the short days now, I only get into the garden on a Saturday for a couple of hours, and on a Sunday, well, Sunday as soon as the sun's up, I'm outside, or yeah, sometimes even before the sun's up. But it's good that you're getting some good grafting. That's fantastic. Not happy with the idiot still refusing to wear masks. Frank, it just doesn't make sense to me that it doesn't make sense. You know how much opposition there is to it. I get the odd person who's got a breathing difficulty or some kind of thing like that. But it does, yeah, that's okay. But it just doesn't make sense to me. Some of the opposition to it. Ismail Karolia, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. How are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. I'm actually in a position to get cracking tomorrow. Took too long to get organised. So, Brian, are you heading down to the allotment or are you working in your home garden? I've not been to the plot for nearly 2 weeks. Dean, you must be getting withdrawal symptoms, man. Been collecting up all the leaves today and filled out 2 compost bins. Where'd you collect your leaves from, Steve? Because I could do with some more leaves. If I'm honest, I could do with quite a lot more leaves. We've picked up all ours. We've got the little leaf mold pile going in the greenhouse. And the last bag that my neighbour dropped me off, I've stuck that on my hotbed. So I finally got my hotbed set up today. Um, that's what I've been working on last weekend and this weekend, working on getting the hotbed set up, so I can get some heat in the greenhouse. We'll be heading down to survey tomorrow. Ah, Dean. So we're getting a video this week. On what's going on down there. Am I the only one planting trees? I'm only planting trees, shrubs, flowers that are good for bees or eating. Every plant has to serve 2 purposes. Um, do you plant the sort of things that you plant just because you like them? Do you have any? Does that fulfill one of your conditions? Hope the triffids aren't moved. Oops, I missed that comment. Hope the triffids aren't moved in. Working in my garden tomorrow. Allotment on Monday. Nice. Steve, you got yours from your house and next door. Um, yeah, I want to go and get some more leaves from somewhere, Steve. Because I've collected all the ones from our garden. I collected a load from my sister's garden. Um, and I want to, yeah, I need to go and get some more because my hotbed's filled up. My little leaf mold greenhouse heating contraptions using them, but I want some the old fashioned leaf mold as well, and I like making that. And the worms go crazy for it as well. Nazish home, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Marilla Artes, thank you very much for coming in. How are you doing? Thank you very much both for coming in. Uh, Steve, the council beats me to all the leaves around here twice a week. They come round collecting them or mowing them. Frank, do you know when they mow them? Do your council workers have a collector on them, or do they just mow them up and leave them? So if they mow them up and leave them, that'd be good. Go and get the chopped up leaves. That'll help you out quite a bit. Um, Tony's dropped a super chat, £10 super chat. Wow, thank you very much, mate. Very kind of you. That's really kind of you, mate. Thank you very much. If you don't know Tony from Simplify Gardening, I'm sure everyone in here knows him. But if you don't know him, go and check him out. Brilliant guy. Yeah. Davey, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in. CW, 1 million. I think though half of those came from you two. Dan, how are you doing, mate? Thank you very much for coming in. Fingers crossed for a dry day for the allotment tomorrow. James, I want a dry day tomorrow. I want to get out there. I want to be outside all day tomorrow. I don't want to be stuck inside. I mean, I took Friday afternoon off work thinking I'd get into the garden for a bit, and it started. We just got non-stop sleet. As soon as I came home from work, it was just non-stop sleet. So I just ended up working in the house, which is a bit disappointing because I thought, yeah, I'll get some time in the garden because these last few weeks I've just been so busy. It's just been non-stop. And I just needed some time out, but yeah, not to be. Dan, thank you very much for on that. Congratulations, appreciate it. But getting through one day at a time. Uh, da, 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 da. Let's see. Since we moved into the bungalow, I'm actually looking forward to Christmas this year. Have you got some nice plans to Brian? Um, I collected 3 compost bags full of leaves from a local park. David, do you ever? This is gonna. Do you know? The only worry I have about collecting leaves from parks is dog poo. Just I can't imagine. Just putting my hands in a pile of leaves and then yeah, yeah. That's the only thing that puts me off about collecting it from a park. Um, I managed to get loads of leaves this year. 5 bags in the greenhouse waiting to be shredded. How are you going to shred them? Are you going to use? Have you got a shredder to shred them? Or are you going to use your lawnmower? Uh, Always rely on CW reviews. uh, Gorgon, thank you very much for coming in. Greetings from Croatia. What's the weather like over there at the moment? Is it very cold? Johnny Apple Builder, thank you very much for coming in. Where can I buy a shredder for leaves and cardboard and paper? If you want a shredder for cardboard and paper, an office shredder is perfectly fine. If you've got a lawnmower, that'll do your leaves. Otherwise, get on Gumtree or get on eBay and buy something second hand. I bought a second hand shredder, one of those silent type shredders, for £50 about a year ago, and it's given me way more than £50 worth of work. Um, Absolutely brilliant. It's still going strong. I mean, I've taken down a hedge and I've shredded the whole thing just through this little hand shredder, and it's pretty powerful. Do you know those silent type shredders? Not the impact. Don't get the impact shredder. If you get a shredder, don't get the impact shredder. They're really loud, and they clog up really easy. I've had one of those before. They're not the best in the world, so stay away from them. Sleep, yeah, Steve. Sleep was horrible this on Friday. Chucked it down for the last 2 days. We didn't have a bad day today. I was out from about 8 o'clock to about 10 o'clock, 10 half 10ish, and that was quite nice. Um, I hope it's all right tomorrow. Grandad's allotment. Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. All right, mate. How's it going? I'm filling a large raised bed with leaves in the new greenhouse to use as hotbeds next year. That sounds awesome. How big's your hotbed? It wasn't Sleep Monty. That was you dribbling, waiting for a meal. Trust Brian to drop that kind of comment. He said dog food. Steve, we've got to be careful because the kids might pop in at any minute, right? So we've got to be careful. Johnny, most people use a lawnmower just run over them. Absolutely, that's pretty good. I've just started a new job delivering shopping for Asda part time, so we'll have time for my garden. Davey, when did you start that? Must remind. RCDC, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. I hope you're keeping well. Love watching your channel. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much for the support. We'll definitely keep it up. So Gorgon is pretty cold. Have you got snow at the moment? I've got a shredder, one of my best garden toys. Richard, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. If you haven't hit that like, guys, please hit that like for me. Let's get that like count up a little bit. I wanted to make a video this year about a shredder I was designing. As shredders don't do leaves well, but I had the bloody vertigo. You're designing a shredder, Tony? Check that out. See, he's not just a pretty face. In my area, they're putting big bags where people put leaves. Very easy for me this year. Waited too long. Bags are gone. See, that's what I see. With some of the people in America, that people fill, um, paper bags and leave them on their doorstep. Now, if that was round here, I'd have nabbed them all. I'd have been out there getting them all. Picking every single bag I found. But it's a shame that they don't do that. Davey, I'd go with a job like that. At present, I work for part time for Wix, and it's killing my knees. Frank, does it help? Would it help your knees if you supported some sort of wore some sort of supports on them? Would that help at all? Um, get the video, seeing yeah, that'd be awesome if Tony made a shredder. I think I'd buy one of them if you made one, Tony. Seeing a consultant on Tuesday. I hope you get some good news from them, or whatever they can do to help. Bob Hudson, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much for coming in. Uh, it's coming on all right, Bob. It's coming on all right. I'm quite happy with what I'm very happy with this million views, mate. I'm really happy. Found a place that delivers wood chips for €16 for a meter squared. Um, that is cheap if you put cardboard on the grass. Which height of wood chips? I'd say minimum about 6 inches. So yeah, minimum about 6 inches, I'd say. Because what you want is that even if when you put the cardboard down, what's going to happen is as the wind blows and as the weather moves, the wood chips will. If you put it less than that, things will just move the wood chips out of place, and the cardboard will become exposed quite quickly. So if you put 6 inches of wood chips down, the bottom layer would start rotting just above the cardboard as the and it turn into really nice soil for you, and then you can just top it up, top dress it as and when you need it. But to start off with, I'd say definitely minimum 6 inches. Uh, Light snow, mostly cold, north winds, chilling you to the bones. Oh, I struggle in the cold, Gorgon. I really struggle in the cold. I miss some. I started on the 25th of November. Been in driver training and out delivering on my own tomorrow morning. David, good luck with that. I really hope that works out for you. Hope that works out for you well. See, Tony, I'm the same. If I'd have seen those bags, I'd have just been out and just filled the boot and come home. I might have even hooked up the trailer for that. I'll be busy tomorrow. Seedlings to prick out, possibly seeds to sow, and magnolia to plant. Any spare time will be spent on making my final staging. See, I've got a used sink. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut out some area in in one of the benches in my greenhouse, and I'm gonna fit the sink into the bench, and that way I can use the bowl of the sink to put all my compost in, and use it for potting up and stuff, and then use the side the drying part of the sink to put my plants on. So that's my little idea at the moment. Watch out for the video; it'll be coming soon. I wear a copper infused support at work. Ah, okay. I've not heard of that type of support before. Um, but does it help? Hoping to go to my small holding status. Hoping to go to small holding status next spring. Oh, fantastic, Steve. Where are you based? Any advice on how to only eat food you grow? Richard, there's something, there's some things that on a small scale, you're just not going to be efficient enough to grow them. I mean, we in our diet we eat a lot of rice, and it's just not going to be efficient enough for us to grow rice. So we'll buy stuff like rice in, we'll buy stuff like pasta in, but we're lucky enough that we can grow for probably for probably about 6 months of the year eat something fresh from the garden every day for at least 6 months of the year. Um, and if not, we can stretch that a little bit longer with stuff that we've stored from the garden. And it might not be as often, but we can get something every few days or something like that. At the moment, we've got loads of pumpkins and stuff stored, so we'll pick one of those once a week and try that with something different. So stick to things. What I'd say is if you've got enough land, I mean, if you've got 6 or 7 acres for a small family, then you could do it. I think you could do it quite comfortably. You could grow your own meat, you could grow your own fruit and vegetables. But if you're on a small allotment or if you're on a small backyard, I think it'll be quite difficult. So with that sort of thing, I'd grow probably what you eat the most and what you like the most and what is most expensive. Um, Tony, I'm sorry to hear about your vertigo. Can't be helped. Um, what can you do if you don't have a shredder? If you've got a lawnmower, use that. Lawnmowers are quite good. They can be used for multi-purpose things. If not, if you can't do that, just if you've got a spade, just sharpen your spade, put everything where you want to what you want to shred up, and just jab it with the spade. And cut it up with the spade, the blade of the spade. It won't be perfect, but it'll be better than just trying to compost or mulch with stuff that's in large pieces. I'm much better now, but it's wiped me out. Tony's really suffered with it this year. Right, yeah, right when he's having, he was flying. His channel was absolutely flying, and it's setting back. I mean, and Richard, you're building raised beds. So Steve's in Norfolk. Can I use my fly mower lawnmower to shred leaves? I see you use a wheeled lawnmower. Is your fly mower a hover mower? Has it got one of those? Has it got a collector box on it? If it's got a collector box, it'll just make it easier. But even then, even without the collector box, I think it'll still do it, even if it's one of those hover mowers. Um, no point in growing staples that you can buy cheap. Concentrate on value crops. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. David, does it pick up the grass? If it does, then yeah. If it's got a collector, then yeah, definitely. Um, Storage is important as what you grow as what you grow for self sufficiency. See, I still haven't got the Laura. What you were saying there, I still haven't got the. Do you know, like people say, freeze soft fruit, right? We freeze strawberries and raspberries, but once they're defrosted, you can't, eat them like fresh fruit anymore. I just, once they're defrosted, I can't eat them like that. Um, so all we can end up doing with them then is making smoothies or just making something out of them rather than eating them as they were as we'd eat them if they were fresh. And so what you're saying is absolutely right. Dry soft fruit, that's a good idea. But see, I don't have a dehydrator, and I don't want to go down. Um, I don't. I don't know if I want to go down that route of dehydrating stuff. Um, I don't know. Let me ask. I'll talk to the boss and see what she says. Can't make those kind of Steve. I can't make those big decisions on my own. I don't need a leaf blower. I just get the wife to talk to talk to the ground. See, Brian, you're gonna get in trouble. You're gonna get yourself in trouble. um, um, Frozen fruit won't go well in trifles. Brian, I don't mind a good trifle actually. Yeah, I could do with a trifle right now. You don't have this figure, um, without enjoying a few trifles. um, I love mine. You can make leathers out of the fruit, and kids love it. Okay. See, my mum makes leathers. What we use is we go for a traditional way of making it. So we've got like a steel tray. So my mum will blend everything up, mix all the spices and everything in, and then she'll spread it on this thin tray and dry it and sun dry it. But it's only good in the summer. But yeah, she makes some really nice leathers out of apples, plums. Yeah, really nice. Build a sun powered dehydrator. That doesn't sound like a bad idea actually. Um, I've used my oven on low overnight to dry apple slices. Okay, how did that work? Um, Nick's allotment diary. Nick, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. I hope you're keeping well. You see, Nick's doing this Christmas Advent video, so he's doing like really short videos. He's dropping a short video every single day. So get over and check them out. It's quite uplifting actually. Yeah, it's nice to see. Uh, Wife has a good sense of humor as me. We took down some trees that are not useful in my eyes, like pine and stuff. Can I mix the acidic wood with others and make hugel beds? One thing I'd do you know, do you know, like if you're shredding the pine needles and those kind of stuff, do you know the greeny stuff off the pine? I'd compost that separately, you know. I did that. I composted some conifer stuff like that that's quite acidic, and I grew my blueberries in it. But with the wood itself, I chipped that up and I mixed it with the rest of the chips and just made, just added it to the rest of my wood chip pile and added it to everything else. So yeah, I think the wood will be fine to go in the garden and use as normal without having to think about it. But with the greeny stuff, I'd compost that separately and make yourself an ericaceous compost. Uh, Dehydrators are awesome. I use mine to make beef and salmon jerky. I've never had jerky. Hendrik, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. It's going pretty good. Hope you're keeping well. Um, I was late getting cat food. Not a problem. Take care of your cat first. Life. I always say to everyone, life comes before YouTube. So yeah, give priority to life before this. How are you keeping though, Hendrik? Um, Nick, everyone's saying hello to Nick. Isabel, yes, you can. Most veg, apart from brassicas, appreciate acidic soil around 5.55, 6.5. Um, oven drying worked well. Stored dried slices in a jar in the morning. So do you have them like crisps then afterwards, just for snacks? I always shred the Christmas trees that everyone throws out to mulch my blueberries. That's not a bad idea, that, Tony. I'm gonna have to go looking for Christmas trees. That's not a bad idea, that at all. Uh, and Tony, I've never had jerky. So who was it that said they make their own jerky? Thanks, Tony. Thanks, not thanks, Tony. Thanks, Monty. I'm enjoying making the Christmas Advent calendar. Yeah, I think they're really uplifting. I really like them. So if you haven't seen that from Nick, it's nice for if you're in for that festive season. It's a nice little video, short and sweet. Gets you to the point. Do go and have a look at them. Um, Oh, thanks for the tips, Frank and Monty. Not a problem at all. Guys, I've got a special treat for you next week. I better uh I'm gonna so next week I've got a soil scientist that we're gonna interview live on the Saturday night live stream. So don't miss that because he's gonna come along and we can ask him all our questions about how we look after soil and how we get the most out of our growing season for next prepare now to get the most out of our growing season next year. So he's an American, so you're gonna see it, but I mean, he works in the field of regenerative agriculture, and so that's his profession. He's a soil scientist, and he's going to be coming in. So so don't miss that. You're gonna have to family and and life first, pal. 100%, absolutely, man. Next year, green needles will be normal. Green needles. What do you mean, Hendrik? Tony, our local hospice collects Christmas trees for free, shreds them, and sells them. Sells the wood chips. Okay. Um, you've never lived if you haven't had jerky. Uh, organic money tree. Our local county in the US grinds trees to mulch for residents for free. Thank you very much for coming in, and that's a nice service that they're doing if they're doing that. Um, I can shred a lot of stuff this year. My wife and daughter got me a shredder for Christmas. What kind of shredder have you got, Brian? Uh, so nice to see Steve. Nice to see you, fellow. Thanks for the awesome videos. Keep the faith. Steve, you take care, and I'll see you soon. Thank you very much for coming in and spending some time with us. I really appreciate it. Um, how do you mix chicken manure with other organic material to make compost? Um, so chicken manure is quite high in nitrogen. So what you want is something with a lot of carbon to balance it out. So if you've got things like leaves, cardboard, paper, shredded paper, um, things like that, you can use that. Just chicken manure and that'll compost down quite nicely. Give it a few months. Um, the bigger your pile, the faster it'll compost. And the more you turn, the more it'll compost. Uh, I've got some videos on composting. Um, Tony's got some good videos on composting. You can go and have a look at them as well. Um, but if you've got chickens, what I like to do is if you have a look at my video on you can if you have a look at my videos on chicken composting, what I do is I use the floor of my chicken run as a compost heap. So everything just goes thrown onto there, wood chips, grass clippings, waste from the garden, it all gets thrown onto the run of the chicken run, onto the floor of the chicken run. They shred it up. They add their own manure to it. They mix all that together, and then every sort of 6 months, 6 weeks, 2 months, I come in, sift off the good stuff, sift off the composted stuff, throw the rough stuff back in, and I can end up with probably a ton bag full of compost just from me feeding the chickens and letting them do their business. So if you were doing chicken manure, that's what I'd prefer to do. That Misk, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much for coming in. I hope you're keeping well. Hope you're keeping good on this beautiful day. Yeah, snacks for homework, Christmas. Trees are supposed to be enjoying increased sales this year, so plenty of trees in January. Laura, I'm gonna go looking for these Christmas trees. Yeah, I'm gonna. Uh, you look very happy about the free. See, Isabella, it doesn't take much to please me. It doesn't make much to make me happy. So yeah, I think that's a good tip. That I like to make my own jerky. Got a book of great jerky recipes. Okay. Um, so Henrik got a light bulb moment from the Christmas trees. Dean, you take care and thanks very much for coming in. And I'll see you soon, mate. Um, After Christmas, there's always old trees thrown in the streets. Do you know what? I've never noticed Christmas trees thrown out, but I'm gonna keep an eye out for them now. And if I see a lot, then I'm just gonna hook the trailer up and I'm going hunting. Um, as a newbie to plot and growing, I've just managed to get some winter red and Shenzi onions in a raised bed. Is it worth growing winter veg? Do they bulb up? CW, it's absolutely worth growing winter veg, winter onions. I like them. They'll give you a harvest at least a month, maybe 2 months before the rest of your onion. Your spring planted onions are ready. So in about end of May, June, you're gonna get you as the days start to get lengthen up. You'll get onions well before the other ones are ready in end of August, early September time. So yeah, they're definitely worth growing. I mean, I've grown a lot from seed this year. The Japanese ones, even I've grown them from seeds, got them planted out as young plants into the garden, and I'm looking forward to them bulbing up for me next year. Um, all I know is an electric shredder. Rebecca, thank you very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. I'm very happy with this million views. Very happy indeed. Allotment. Not every shredder is the same, but watch your electricity bills. Consumes a lot. Um, I would have been shredded if I would have been disappointed if the shredder was powered by a hamster running on a wheel. Uh, uh, Henrik, which video are you talking about? Are you talking about my chicken compost one? I used to run a deep litter system and that was great. See, deep. Do you know, like, you can turn that deep litter system to work even fast. Do you know, the traditional way of deep litter is just let the chickens poo and then put some more on and then more on, and then come back after about a year and then take out what you've got. But I like, being a bit more proactive with it and then just taking off as and when I need it. So at the moment, I've got about 3 ton bags full of finished compost sat in my garden. I've got two dustbin bags full, two of those big, black dustbins, the old fashioned type of can dustbins. All of your 30 litre pots, Tony, and yeah, full of finished compost. And the dustbins and your 30 litre pot ones, they're all going to be used for starting seeds. So I've not done bad prepping for next year so far. I mean, my chicken compost, yeah, beds are all ready. This morning I was looking out the window thinking, what do I need to do? But there's always something to do. Uh, but deep lit is absolutely brilliant. Brian, like, uh, it should be all right now, Frank. We since last week, so I'm not sure if you guys have noticed the signals should be a bit better. The Sky Engineer finally came out. I booked him at the start of November, and he came out last week, and he upgraded us. So I've upgraded the Sky from normal broadband up to the fiber broadband. So we're on the fastest broadband possible. So I hope you're getting a better signal, and I hope it's better for you. Uh, Put a note in your local groups on Facebook. I have a group called We Love Nelson, and I post on there saying I'll collect for free. I collect. Okay, that's not a bad idea at all. Pound for Pound TV. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Thank you very much for coming in. Uh, Frank knows me too well. We can go in my transit vans. If you want to go, anytime you want to go, I'm ready. On a week, I'm free most Sundays. Well, Sundays is the day I'm not working or teaching. So yeah, Sundays, if you want to go, I'll be up for it. I was at a farm shop today, and they had loads of Christmas trees. I filmed some as part of the advent calendar, so you'll see them later in the month. Okay. What we buying from the farm shop, Nick? I understand your happiness about freebies for the garden. I'm the same. I was so happy to find a big pile of composted sheep poo on my land. We'll use it. Oh, you are a true gardener. Once you see a nice pile of steaming hot poo, yeah, you can't beat that. um, that's a few trees, Tony. Get a great idea about the free collection of the trees. 50 trees. That's not bad at all. That. What kind of shredder have you got, Tony? Always look for resources that are free to use. See, that wouldn't be about. See, there's a big Leeds group, Leeds space, but you post stuff like that, and well, I posted stuff like that I wanted free wood chips, and they deleted my post saying it was inappropriate. They're a bit stuck up. Are you on that, Frank? Are you on that Leeds space group? You slowly need a real Henrik. Do you know what? I was on the phone to my brother actually today. He lives out in Latvia, um, and and I was saying that I'd love to be on a small holding. I'd love to be out on probably. Do you know if I could have um, about 10 acres? If I had 10 acres of land, I'd do some. I've got some amazing ideas what I'd do with 10 acres of land. Um, but but I would love to do it. I'd absolutely love to be on some land. But he was saying, why don't I go and join him over in Latvia? And it's like it's a bit cold for me, man. Uh, I'm investing in a few 30 litre pots on Tony's advice, sound advice. Yeah, definitely. Those 30 litre pots are a genius idea. Um, I've just harvested my first batch of vermicomposted this week. Red Riddlers did a great job on the compost bin from the end of August. Lots of egg transferred to the new bin and the new worms. Nice. How much compost did you get when I when I've walked along the beach? I always looked at the seaweed and wonder what. Laura, with seaweed, you can do amazing stuff with seaweed. I mean, if you get a small amount, if you get a small amount, then just if you can't get a lot, and you can just get a small amount, just mix it in some water, chop it up, mix it in some water, let it rot down in the water, and then you've got a nice luscious seaweed feed. If you can get loads and loads of seaweed, great for adding for compost, great for adding just to the raised beds or your garden beds as a mulch, and it'll just break down into the soil in no time. One of the things about coastal farmers in Britain, there's a tradition of them using seaweed to fertilize the beds. That's why some of the coastal farms in Britain are so rich, because of the seaweed that they used to use. So if you can get a lot of seaweed, I'd be all over that. I'd be absolutely all over that. Can't wait to make and use my own compost. I'm so jealous. CW, do you know once it, do you know it gets into a bug. Come on, turn that heater on. It's freezing in here.
I feel boiling.
Go and turn that heater on for me. So signal's really good now. I hope it is, because Can I compost whole leaves because I don't have a lawnmower? You can compost whole leaves. It'll just take a little bit longer to compost. But mix it and turn it and get it mixed up. The whole gang's here. What about me? What about me? Hi, Tony. Frank. Let go of my hand. Let me do the computer. Laura, seaweed makes awesome addition to the compost. Oh, guys, just slow down a bit. Slow down a bit.
He came in. I'm like, hi,
Tony. Just be mindful of how you word it. Post as you're providing a service rather than looking for something for yourself.
Hi, Tony.
Yeah, Tony. I see people. I see people post stuff like that. Is anyone giving free stuff away? And
your kids.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Hi, everyone's saying hi, kids. Hi, kids. Hi, kids.
Get your hand down.
Someone
Buying
said
some veg
kids.
and a few bits for Christmas and
Hello.
bits and pieces. Nice to get out and about. Everyone's saying hi. Dave, what's the matter?
My hair looks like I'm a monster.
Someone just wrote to me, but walnuts are poisonous for food forests. What is this? I know nothing grows below it. Maybe that's what they mean. Isabel, walnuts are a Yeah, they're okay. They're okay. Walnut. Okay, you just get your arms up. What's the matter? Come on, sit down. Okay. So walnuts are allelopathic. So even the leaves and the shells of walnuts, they can be quite allelopathic. But once they're broken down, they won't have that allelopathic qualities anymore. Guys, if you're doing that, you need to stop.
Okay? Hello. You're chasing my like a maniac. Can I show them my Dragon Ball book?
See, I think the same. I think some people just get a little bit stuck up.
Stuck up.
Stuck up. Don't you say that.
I was stuck up before.
So, Can I compost? All? Yes, you can. No, you weren't stuck anywhere, mate.
I'm stuck on the floor.
No, you're not stuck on the floor. You'll have to. So, can I compost the whole leaves? You can compost whole leaves. Absolutely fine. It'll just take a little bit longer. Not on the Leeds group, but Pontefract and Castleford. Okay. Karaoke star Latvia's. Thank you very much for coming in.
Can I show them my book?
Yes, you can in a minute. Latvia's not that cold because of global warming. See, the last year, my brother was saying they couldn't open the front door because of the amount of snow they got. So if I got that much of snow, I'd be sitting inside the fire. Sit down, please, because you're shaking the bed.
I can't find my box covered in animal stickers. Can I show
Get
them?
10.
Dad, I can't find my box covered in animal stickers.
Okay, we'll
I
find
show
it in a
them
bit.
this?
Yes, in a minute. Sit down. Get 10 fed in here. Nice and warm. It's called sand, not land. What? How much area is a fidan? I'm not.
I don't know.
So.
When can I show them?
Still looking for someone who can bring CD for me. Mental note. Gee.
I don't know.
You don't know what? What
Can I
don't you know?
show them this?
Did you say hello? Aren't you going to talk to you? Aren't you going to talk to your friends today?
Yeah. Can I show them this now?
Yes, you can. But you can put whole leaves in black bin bags, then stab the whole bags with a garden fork. Leave for 6 to 9 months. Laura, yeah, that's a great way of making leaf mold. With whole leaves, it just might take a little bit longer. But leaf mold's absolutely brilliant for remineralizing soil. It's a great way of adding trace elements to your soil. So yeah, leaf mold's absolutely fantastic. Otherwise, if you've just got bare beds, right? If you've just got bare soil, leave the leaves on top of the soil. Cover them in cardboard and let them break down naturally into the soil. Don't leave your garden beds bare. So message was automatically held for review by. Okay. I'm out to get some seaweed tomorrow. Thank you from Western Wales. Heather, you're very welcome. No, don't get it from Wales. I won't get it from Wales, mate. Okay, you going to sleep.
I'm gonna show them this.
Okay, you can come and sit down then. So sit down and show them your book. So
When I think it was on Tuesday.
So Khadija got a new book, so she wants to show you that.
It's called Dragon World. It's a guide to dragons.
So there you go. Look
Papa,
at that. Look how
baby
awesome
dragon.
that book is.
And they got some more.
Let me just hold it up a little bit so I can. Why don't you hold it there?
They can't see it.
Hold it there. They can see it. They can see it fine. I can't even see what's going on now. So tell them what kind of dragon that is then.
That's the American.
It's an American dragon.
No, it's a North American flying serpent.
North American flying serpent.
No, it's
is
not. Yeah, that's what it said. That's the only serpent in the book.
Okay, go on. Let's see the next one.
And the next is one with a weird face.
So it's the weird face dragon.
That's what I call it.
So guys, we've gone from gardening to dragons. So we'll get back to Stop.
Let's do one more.
Okay, go on then. Show me your last dragon. There we go. There's your last dragon.
There's a dragon skeleton.
A dragon skeleton. There we
And
go.
there's a Komodo dragon here.
Okay, can you get
Which
that
is
out
the
of my face
last
now? Let's
living
get back to the
human.
chat.
The last
So,
living
guys,
dragon was
that was the gardening chat interrupted there to show you dragons. Get down, Hadi. Your kids, you're so excited. Yes.
Wait, I remember.
Yes.
I was watching our baby videos.
I'm giving you attention as well. See.
And I was holding me, and I pulled his ear because he was squishing my head.
Your excited voices woke up my cat.
I want a kitten.
Okay, can you stop pushing me? Sit down.
I want a
Go
kitten.
and turn that heater off now, please.
I'm
So snow that only lasts for a few days, maybe a month, not like it used to be. Snow lasts for a month. See, you know, since these kids have been born, right, we haven't had a good snow because I've been looking forward to taking them sledging.
My animation thing.
I mean, I remember when I was a kid that the schools used to be closed because of snow. We used to go sledging. Just on. You're gonna go. I'll take you sledging. You haven't got a dog.
Can we go with Yes and New stuff so they have their own sleds?
You want a dog?
Yeah, I want a dog.
Okay. Ask your grandma, see if she'll let you have one. Elbow off, please. Just sit down. Just sit down. I can't do that. Just sit down. Sit down. Sit down. I can't use the computer if you're sat on my knee. So let's.
Hello.
Let's see, Dragon World. Henrik likes your Dragon World. So one Fidan is one same as one acre. Okay. Oh, everyone's looking at your Dragon World book. I stabbed my bags with leaves, but they took 2 years to break down. See, Brian, if you shred them first, if you can shred them first,
animations until I find
it breaks down a lot faster. And if you can get some worms to help you, they'll break it down a lot faster as well. I see everyone's impressed with your pop-up book. Can you stop pushing my arm? Eh?
I'm secretly showing them as well, again.
See, you're ready for bed today. See, he's ready for bed today. He's not his excited self. Just be mindful of how much sand is in it. Maybe worth rinsing out before you introduce too much sand. How much salt is in it, not sand. Yeah, that's the only thing that. Yeah. Everyone likes your book. Add cardboard on top of one fresh bed built and mold was forming underneath it.
That's the dragon skeleton.
Good, mate. Like a lack of airflow. Any suggestions? What did you have underneath the cardboard? Can you? But sometimes, you know, tell me what you've got underneath the cardboard, and then we'll go from there. But don't be worried about. Don't always be worried about mold and fungus in your garden beds. 'Cause sometimes that's actually a good sign, depending on what type of mold and what type of fungus it is.
I'm going to read the book.
Can I plant garlic now, or am I too late? You can, as long as the ground's not frozen, go ahead and plant your garlic. Yeah, absolutely fine. Go ahead and plant your garlic as long as the soil's not frozen.
For today.
Yeah, your hands are there. Don't worry. It'd be nice to see another white Christmas in my lifetime. Brian, I don't think we've ever seen it. I've ever seen one. Simplify gardening. Can I still plant garlic, or is it too late? Yes, you can. You can go ahead and plant garlic. Yeah.
I don't know.
Bussard Homestead, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, it's a really nice milestone to hit. I'm very happy with that. No, I don't want to cut this off. How can I turn compost into potting soil? So if you want a potting mix, then if you take some compost, depending on what you're planting, really makes the jar. So depends on what you're planting. Now, if you're planting seeds, then you want your compost to be as fine as possible, and you don't want it to be too nutritious. So adding things like sharp sand, adding things like vermiculite will help sift it off and plant into that. Adding a bit of garden soil. You know, if you're potting up plants to be transplanted. If you're potting up plants to plant into the garden, then what's always a good idea into your potting mix is add some garden soil, so it contains some of the bacteria from the garden, and that helps acclimatize some of the plants that you're growing. So that's one of the things that you can add.
Well, what's this? Is this an owl?
That looks like a cat with a mask.
No.
No, it's an owl. Okay.
Yusuf found it in my Lego box.
Okay, can you sit down? So we can plant garlic in this time of the year if the ground's not frozen. Wouldn't matter the winter. Xenome, winter's really important for growing garlic. Garlic needs that cold period. It needs that really cold temperatures to help split the bulbs, and so you get lots of cloves in your garlic instead of one big fat bulb. So yeah, winter's very helpful for you for growing garlic. So it's good to plant it now.
Animation's not cancelled anymore. I found the flippies.
Jim from Homegrown. What did you say? Go sit down.
Flippies.
Jim from Homegrown Veg lays his seaweed out on his garden for a couple of weeks to let the elements get to it. Then he shreds it after the rain has washed all the salt out. See, what are you doing? No, you're not licking me. Stay away. See, that's a great idea to let the elements do the washing for you. I like that. You don't. They need a good frosting to split. Put in a couple of inches. So I'm planting in containers though. Is it plant okay? So if you're planting in containers, garlic wants about 6 inches of space. So if you plant one bulb, then 6 inches apart, then plant another bulb. What did you do there? I don't even know.
This is Zacky's. This is a Ben 10 alien. Well, it's the head of one. It's the head of a Ben 10 alien.
So yeah, just go ahead and plant in containers. Absolutely fine, not a problem. I lined my ground with cardboard first, then added a mix of topsoil and compost on top, then cardboard on top of that. So
here's the glass.
Okay, listen. Let me read this. I lined the ground with cardboard first, then added a mix of topsoil and compost on top, then cardboard on top of that. I was thinking about with drainage, so stabbed up the bed with a fork. If you don't worry about it, it'll be fine. Okay, just stop it. CW, don't worry about it. It'll be fine when you come to plant next spring. That bed will be fine. Don't worry about any mold and stuff you get.
I should
At the moment, don't worry about that. With what you're saying there, doesn't sound like you've got anything there. I mean, sometimes depending on the compost that you use, it can cause mold. Khadija, turn the light off. Let him show his book. Okay, guys, keep an eye out for. Turn the lights off. Look at Taylor's book. Look at that.
My notebook.
How cool is that notebook?
It's okay.
Okay, go turn the lights back on again.
Yeah, I gotta get out. Glass skin!
Not the one at the back. What are you stuck on my head?
Glass skin!
So, mycelium. Yeah, see that sort of fungus or that sort of mold will be actually good for your soil. As Tony's saying, mycelium definitely. I like that. What? Don't keep sticking things on me, man.
I'm just gonna borrow the scissors. I'm the Lion King.
You see, it gets a little bit crazy in here. So if you're new to the chat, then this is what happens. Kenneth, the Kentucky Farm, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. How are you doing? I hope you're keeping well. See, tell you if everyone likes your flashing light book. Why are my radishes taking so long to mature? At this time of year, everything's going to take long to mature. It's really cold. Everything's just going to grow really slowly. See, tell you if everyone likes your notebook. Just started writing my second book, all about soil. Might be out next year after I finish the first book. Tony, you crack on with your. Do you know what? When you say things like that, you're proper. Yeah, you're an absolute inspiration. I want a signed copy of that first book when it's published. I want a signed copy of that. So, Jazz from Alternative Small Holdings here. How are you doing, Jazz? Thank you very much for coming in. How are you keeping? And it's good to have a chat with you. It's nothing unusual to have fungi growing in compost of heaps of wood chips. Yeah, absolutely. Tony, no problem. I'll buy it. I think everyone will be looking for your book, and I want a signed copy. I don't just want a book. I want a nice love note written into it as well. Sis detecting Cyrus, how are you doing? You did what on the password? Cyrus, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. You drew a password.
Yeah, he drew a password. If it's drawing word means
Thanks very much, mate. Appreciate that. Which type of Fretter? No, sorry, I'm reading that name wrong. Fetra. Why are you obsessed with taking my hat off? Hey.
Welcome to Lion King.
What type of vegetable can you grow at this time of year? Also, what can I harvest? Things to plant now: garlic. If you haven't got overwintering onions, you can still get in. Start off onion seeds for next year. That's always a good idea at this time. Broad beans are good. You can get peas started. If you've got a greenhouse, you can get things like spinach and kale and Chinese brassicas, Chinese cabbages growing. They'll all do well in undercover, and you should be able to harvest them most of the year through. Stop sticking your tongue out. If the wind changes, your face will stay like that. Lively Fig, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. The bacteria is what drives the decomposition in compost, if I'm not wrong. Bacteria is one of in hot composting. Bacteria is the one that if you're using hot composting methods, bacteria will be the one that you're relying on to break everything down. But if you go down the route of cold composting methods, cold compost, absolutely, you're relying on a more fungal breakdown of process, especially if you're using things with a lot of lignin in it. So if you're using a lot of woody material, then you're relying on more. You're relying on more fungal dominant.
I got some options.
Fungal.
I got 4 options.
One second, Dave.
I need to ask him
just
something.
1 second. Let me finish this off. You're relying on a fungal activity to break down your material. So, in a garden, the traditional method of thinking has been where you're growing vegetables to have bacterially dominated soil.
Now can I ask them?
Let me finish what I'm saying. In a bacterially dominated soil, and where you're growing trees, you want fungal dominated soil. But there's a lot of more modern thinking to say that no, even where you're growing vegetables and annuals, you want a mix of bacteria and fungal dominated soil. You want them both. Go on, ask what you wanted to ask. Now you can ask.
I got 4 options for what I'm going to do on the next animation thingy. I want 3. Ben 10, The Avengers, or Justice League.
Do your animation now because we're going to end it soon.
Okay.
Okay, so go and get your thing. Don't give him any options, just go and get your thing.
Okay.
Okay. Like in the signed copy version. Jazz, it's good to see you on here. How's the family? How's everyone doing at the moment?
Who's Jazz? I found this.
Rue's mum.
Dad?
Can you remember Rue we met at Melbourne?
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Garden after lockdown. Thank you very much for that. Go on, sit down and do your So Tayyip's gonna just do his quick animation before we sign off.
No, it's yours.
So bear with us, just one animation, okay? Just one of them.
Okay.
So quickly.
You did that?
You did that one last week. Do this one this
Yeah, I
week.
need the Ninja Turtles.
No, okay, leave that one. So leave that one and do this one this week.
Dad,
It's okay.
I need both of them.
Okay, just hurry up and do it.
I need all characters.
So where have you been hiding? Oh, where are we gone? Laura, you take care. Thank you very much for coming in. Hope to see you again next week. So, guys, stop that. Guys, just to remind you, next week we're gonna have a bona fide soil scientist on the chat. So if you want to talk about anything to do with soil, come along next week.
I'm doing the animation now.
He'll give you some.
Okay, boys,
some real advice.
We have to fight the shredder. We just fought him and he defeated all of us. Well, he defeated all of us. And I'm training. Me too. Yeah, so am I. Me too. I'm doing it too. So I guess we're ready to do it. Wait, my sons, this is a very deadly task.
Okay, no. We're going to do it that way. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna get. We're just gonna go feed him.
What are these?
Okay.
Me and Jackie are going to play boxing.
Wait, wrong character.
Wrong character. Okay, get your right character.
I will defeat the Ninja Turtles. For I am the Shredder, a demon in a mech suit. For some reason, I have no idea why I'm a demon in a mech suit. But I will defeat the Ninja Turtles. Sir, the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
What the? Hi! Ah!
You don't need to sort your garlic before planting. It's better just. I always say it's better just to plant it.
Now,
Sorry to interrupt your
I have
animation.
already unlocked my next stage. Uh-oh, boys. We gotta defeat him quick. We have to work as a team.
My turn. No, my turn. Put
Ah!
it on.
Okay, maybe I have 4
Put
different
them
angles.
on. I don't want to wear it.
Ah,
Look, if you wear it, I can let you have a longer turn.
come on, boys.
1 minute.
Attacking from behind. Yeah.
Are you ready to boxing?
Left. Right. Behind.
No, you're supposed to do it.
Front. What are they doing? Okay, now we retreat. We have to go back. We can be defeated.
Why can't I punch?
Oh, I get what you're talking about, dude. Oh, you might have defeated me this time, but next time I'll be back stronger, and I'll have a cooler headquarters for a cooler battlefield.
See, look,
Run!
garden after lots, and well done. You should put them all in a notebook so you can keep them after all together. That's a great idea, isn't it?
I have a box in there that I keep them in.
So, but if you kept them in a notebook, then you won't lose the pages. That's a good idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you for that good idea.
Thanks for the good
glad
idea.
to see the Ninja Turtle is still in action. There you go. Everyone's putting in. Thanks for the animation. Everyone's saying thank you for your program. See,
How much thumbs up do you give?
So sorry, 3 Scooter. The Wi-Fi is 1. So everyone likes the story. Yeah.
Bye-bye. That's it.
Right. So you could use one card. You could use card sheets like for Pokemon for all the different scenes. Oh, that's another good idea. Everyone's loving the Ninja Turtles. Totally radical. Look at that. You guys.
Can you show them this? Then we
No.
got one
Okay.
card so we can...
Wait,
Right.
can they just tell me which type of people I should do next?
Okay, which one? Go and ask them a question, and then you can prepare that
Which
for next
type
week.
of people should I do next?
Look up.
Like the Justice League, Ben 10, the Avengers.
So Justice League, Ben 10, or Avengers
or the
for next week.
Can you show them this?
So lots of thumbs up for you, mate.
Dad, can you show them this?
Avengers has one.
No, you guys do your boxing. Just
Okay, Avengers.
Avengers. Okay, there you go.
Avengers it is.
Okay.
Can you show them this, please?
No, no,
to show Frank.
No, you can do his
I
boxing
got
over
one boxing pad and one glove.
Right,
You got
guys.
one boxing pad and one
Thank.
glove.
We've been on for just over an hour, so I'm going to call it a night here. Really appreciate everyone for coming and having this, joining me on this celebration for 1 million views. I really appreciate it. And next week, guys, don't forget we're going to have a soil scientist on. We're going to have a soil scientist on who's going to talk about preparing gardens and preparing soils and taking care of soils. So be ready with your questions. If you want to email them. If you want to email them ahead. If you want to email them ahead, then do so. Yeah. Yeah. So if you want to email them ahead, then do so. Yeah, that'll be fine. Or if you wanna message me with them, then brilliant. But yeah, thanks very much for joining me on tonight's live stream. I really appreciate it. You guys take care. Have a great weekend. Nice one, Frank. Take care, everyone. Do you want to say bye to Frank quickly? Come on.
Bye, everyone. Wait, can I show them what we did? I got one pad. Zaki got one pad. I got one glove. He got one glove. I can hit his pad. He can hit my
Come on,
pad.
show them what
So
you're
that
doing.
we can both do boxing at the same
Yeah.
time. We can both do.
They're both doing boxing. Look, we got little Rocky here. So, all right. On that note, we're gonna call it a day. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
No!
Yes.